All eyes on me. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. All eyes on me.
Perth Glory were at home for the first time this Ninja A-League season as they hosted Brisbane Roar. Both sides had winning starts to their campaign and were looking to banish the ghost of last season where they failed to qualify for finals. Glory's goal-scoring Americans Gabby Holler and Roller Badawia again started up front for Stephen Peters' side, while Alex Smith was hoping Bente Janssen and Sean Fryer could continue their form in front of goal for the Roar, with last round's match winner Tamika Yallop again starting from the bench.
Quilamu drives deflection. Grace Quilamu with the opening goal in Perth. She made her Matilda's debut midway through the year, and she continues where she left off last season, where she scored 5 goals. She's got a first. She'll have to be careful, Studer. Johnston, very intelligent. Steps back onto the right. Well blocked off by Studer. Appeals for handball, but well, Beck Mackey was well positioned and the hands looked like they're in a natural position. Badawia though. What about the turn? What about the shot? Oh, Roller Badawia! That is magnificent! 2 in 2 for Perth Glory. It just gets better and better every time you watch it. Badawia able to angle the pass to McKenna. Here's a strike. Oh my goodness, that was so close to the top corner. Tova. Oh, Houdini-like. How'd she work her way out of that impossible scenario? Now delivers across to Holler. Oh, it would have been a goal and a half, and it would have been an embarrassing blunder for Brisbane. It's excellent defending from Tish Woods. Has made some critical tackles in this match. Now it's McKenna versus Fryer. Fryer burns away from McKenna, hangs it up. Janssen! She's got 2 in 2, the Dutch woman. What a start to life at the Brisbane Roar. And she's been very quiet to start this one, but that is the sign of a quality player. Here's Fryer. Danger. Janssen. Janssen! Oh, has it got there? Yes, it has. Bente Janssen. 2 goals in 2 minutes. And Brisbane lead 3-1. Dalton, another good corner. Oh, Lincoln has spilled it. Deflection off the line. And look at that from Badawia. Off the line from Seidel. Maybe. There's a late chance here for Perth Glory. Lincoln has the goal at a mercy. Off the post and in. Perth Glory are not dead yet. Ella Lincoln's got a second Ninja A-League goal. And the 21-year-old Perth Junior has left Alex Smith feeling a little blue late on. True. It should have been an equaliser for Zog. Stephen Peters cannot believe it. And it's Brisbane who hang on. And despite the late scare, 2 wins from 2, they have roared out of the blocks in season 18 of the A-League Women's. And they win for the first time in Perth since December 2017. That season they went on and won the premiership. It was a bit of late drama, but it's Brisbane who win it full time in the West. Perth Glory 2, Brisbane Roar 3.
Wellington Phoenix kicked off the Beth Priestman era to great anticipation as they hosted Canberra United at Sky Stadium. The Olympic gold-winning coach is part of a new-look Phoenix team trying to make the Ninja A-League finals for the first time in club history. Meanwhile, Canberra were looking to rebound after an opening round defeat at home. Nepalese striker Savitri Bandari was set to make her debut for the Knicks along with football fern CJ Bott, plus Mariners championship winner Brooke Nunn, whilst Anthony Jagranek will be hoping that legendary striker Michelle Heyman can continue her goal-scoring start for Canberra United.
Ooh, finds Jale, looks up, plays early, Sunburn behind, there's the blistering pace. Oh, she's through and on goal, this could be a dream start, and she strikes early, perhaps questionably so, and Sally James got a fingertip. Dangerous ball in, and it fell to the left foot of Sumber. Instinctive strike, but dragged it just wide. None. There's that control. Longo was talking about luring two players in, but then feeds Heyman. Oh, not everyone has eyes out of the back of the head.
Commentator's curse, they call that one.
Lacinio does well. It's a good ball in, and it's found its way into the net. Fortuitous, dangerous ball. And would you believe Canberra, slightly against the run of play, have another early lead? It's the visitors up by a goal to nil. They put it in swinger towards that near post, and it's not completely away and hooked in. Is that over the line? Van der Meer said absolutely, and yes, she redeems herself. A mistake at one end, and she hooks it over the line. Just, and we're locked up. Here's a good header in on goal, and what an effort by Essen to palm it onto the crossbar. Danger still not averted. Drifted it, Heyman goes up, and her glancing header not in on target, but boy, oh boy, what an end of the half. Wall winning possession back, though, the pass short. Here's Gordon, she drives through, drop of the shoulder, gets the shot away. Quiet first half, makes an impact early. Here's Samba in behind, lovely through ball. She shoots and didn't quite catch it clean, and James again up to the task. Here as Samba gets into the area, thought she'd lost possessions, done very well. Stands it up at the back post, arriving was Elliott, just could not keep it down, but much better finally, a sign of life in the final third. The strike comes in. It's a pretty good one, awkward for Essen on the half volley. She used knee, thigh, whatever she did, it was effective. Elliott tries to dribble out of danger. Ball's played back in. Canberra hook it towards the near post, and Essen fumbled possession. But for her, it popped on the right side of that near post. Oh, could have been disaster. From that challenge. Post ball, Jale didn't deal with it well. Here's Stanic Floody. Finds Grove. Delivers towards Heyman, and Heyman's one and only chance, and she's perfectly picked out the Phoenix keeper. And it has ended all square in the capital. Bev Priestman's first game in charge of a new club ends with a point. Canberra United went ahead after 18 minutes. Van der Meer, after being involved in a defensive error for the Canberra goal, atoned, hooking home in the 39th. But the second half, neither sides finding a rhythm and quality about them. And the run of play, and a little longer, you would say, probably a fair result.
Last season's premiers Melbourne City hosted the defending champions Central Coast Mariners in what was one of the most hotly anticipated matchups of the season. It was Sydney's first home game at Control Cyber Pitch, the scene of last season's heartbreaking extra-time semi-final defeat to the Mariners. Michael Matruchani kept with the same starting 11 from last week's draw against Sydney FC, while Swiss international Lorena Baumann was brought into the squad for the Mariners.
So here's Coco DeCipio, launches from long distance, and wow, that was almost something special. Here's the kick from Apostolakis, goes deep to the other side of the box. It's hammered in, Stott on the first attempt, but McNamara on the second. Well, the kick over to Stott and her first touch was crucial to get a shot away. That let everyone standing on their back feet. So Quilligan. Trimis loses control. McNamara gifted back, and Hughes is there. She can run on and shoot. Hughes got to be clever. Really great opportunity, and McNamara showcasing why she's one of the best. Prakash, tap on for Trimis. Need to get Trimis involved. McNamara's on the ball again. McNamara sets up her teammate McMahon to get it past the keeper. McMahon finds the net. Well, this is a beautiful setup by Holly McNamara, who can not only score goals, she can assist, and I think that's what's been so impressive about her game this year particularly. She's goal hungry, but she's also a great decision maker. Here's McNamara. McNamara on a counter-attack. Her favourite spot to be. She's taken to ground. Holly McNamara. Decision has been made, a penalty for Melbourne City. And it's nothing but net for Holly McNamara. She's 2 from 2. Melbourne City go up 3-0. Here's a chance. McNamara for her third. McNamara. It's saved. Almost a hat trick for McNamara. There's still the option though. Very different conditions to what she'd be used to in Brisbane. Here's a runaway. 18 Keane has McNamara. Was she offside? Who knows? McNamara can shoot. She's still got it. McNamara, second attempt. 2 goals already on the scorecard. Apostolakis. Well, here's the action. Holly McNamara snuck out in front. Saved by Sarah Langman. Jackson still chasing. Few goes backwards to the goalkeeper Langman. Now Davidson. Davidson to McMahon. Her one touch wasn't great. McMahon still has it. McMahon on the volley! Shelby McMahon, the teenager. She puts them up by 4. And that will do it. Full time here at Control Cyber Pitch. And this time, redemption belongs to Melbourne City. Well, 6 months after the semi-final heartbreak, the Premiers have flipped the script. They have finally toppled the team that denied them a shot at the championship, that denied them a win in 4 matches. In their head-to-head, they've been unable to get up, but this time they do in what is a statement performance. Composed, clinical, full of conviction, the kind of response you might expect from back-to-back premiers who have unfinished business. It's their first win of the season. It comes on home soil in really tough conditions in front of a crowd that has waited to see this team rise again. At full time, it's Melbourne City 4, Central Coast Mariners 0.
Adelaide United were at home for the first time this season as they hosted Sydney FC, with both sides looking for their opening victory of the campaign. The Reds have had a great record against the Sky Blues in recent times, beaten them both home and away last season. Holly Murphy and Karina Rossi were brought into the starting 11 for Adelaide, while Ante Juric gave the start to the American goalkeeper Heather Hintz.
Post-game last week, he was asked, are Sydney FC contenders again? He said, we always were. Even last season, I always believed. Here's a chance through the right. Karina Rossi, what an introduction that would have been. in her first start after coming off the bench last week, and perhaps that's a good indication why.
We can see exactly why she's out there.
Hodgson crosses first time. Holmes, an awkward bounce, and then Holmes crashing in. Well, Asen a little bit patient there, waiting for the ball to sit up kindly, and Holmes is arguing that it should have been a corner. Now Luchtmeyer able to win the ball away from McNamara, and now has options in the middle. Here's Bianca Garlich. Garlich onto Amelia Casa. Casa with a chance. Sydney's first shot in anger, and Ella Tonkin got across to block it away. Tanner against McNamara, and the centre-back is able to prevail. Adriana Taranto, little sidestep, into the box she goes, and across the face. Hinds was at full stretch, but Adriana Taranto's shot not able to find that first Adelaide United goal. To the near post it goes, it catches the woodwork and continues on its way out, and no one from Sydney got a touch. Sydney FC with all their numbers back defending. Condon not quite bending towards the target. It's going to be headed out of the teeth of goal by Asen. She had to be there. Headed off the line and cleared out for another corner on the opposite side. Here comes the corner. And, well, maybe the symbol was I'm shooting direct on goal, because it has swung across the face and out.
And why not, Teo?
Not able to find Talon Henniker with the pass, but Tumeth's ball over the top. Caspers the run, stayed onside. And now the cross from Caspers, headed away by Murray. Garlich, well, just didn't attack the ball with any real conviction there and has skied the shot out. Beyond the far post, free header, and it's wide. The crowd were up. They thought that Matilda McNamara's header was goal bound, but it wasn't. Hunter, a drifter. It is allowed to bounce, but it wasn't on target. It goes wide, and Garlich was the closest player. Hunter back up, contributing to the attack. Talon Henniker, a ball early, and Ukekel in the middle. The American got there first, but off target. McNamara to Dorber. Great run from McNamara. Held up here, steers it back. Chelsea Dorber lifts the ball into the box. And Tumeth won the header. Won the header, took the sting out of it. And groans of frustration from the fans as both teams are still looking for their first win of the season. And Adelaide are still looking for their first goal of the season. It's the first time since the beginning of the Ninja A-League that these teams have ever played a draw. And in spite of their best efforts, it's a scoreless one at that. A late chance for Jodie Ukekel for Sydney. Erin Healy never stopped trying for Adelaide, but they will be left disappointed. They're off the mark in terms of points, but they are still yet to find the back of the net through 2 games. Matilda McNamara was great in defence today and had that free header midway through the second half. How different it could have been. Instead, it's finished Adelaide United 0, Sydney FC 0.
Western Sydney Wanderers played host to Melbourne Victory to close out the round at Wanderers Football Park. Both sides were hoping to pick up their first points of the season after opening week defeats. Sham Khamis returned in goals for Jeff Abraham's side after missing last week through suspension, and Olivia Price was also brought into the starting lineup, whilst Jeff Hopkins brought Grace Marr and Claudia Bunge into his 11.
Harrison. Beautiful curling effort in, off the hands. The header goes loose. On the end, a goal kick. Could have been Caspers there with the opportunity for the Wanderers. Harrison in a similar spot where she was before. Chisari wants to play it through. The opportunity's there. And Matos looks to be the player that sends it over the line. Just her second goal in the Ninja A-League. And Western Sydney Wanderers hit the front.
Let's go, come on, get the ball. You two are too close.
Now the long ball, Kennedy White. She's got the burners on. Kennedy White takes a touch, sends it home, and Kennedy White. It was simple as it could be for the American. And Kennedy White, well, certainly has made a name for herself in the opening 2 games of this Ninja A-League season.
pitch it. Turn. Hey, Anna. Up, turn her up, we jump. Get them all the way up. Quick, 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 quick.
Another ball for Kennedy White, does well just to delay her run. Kennedy White strikes again. The American makes it 2. The assist from Rachel Lowe just had that presence of mind to just put herself in front, stagger her run, and it's a tidy finish.
Great ball, great ball. Whip it.
McMeekin now looking to drive it in and through. And Kennedy White has her hat-trick. Well, she just loves scoring in the Ninja A-League, and she makes it 3. Lots of talk about how Emily Gilnick could possibly be replaced in this Melbourne Victory side. But 4 goals in 2 games, including a hat-trick. What a tidy finish in the end. Just stuck the footer at the right time just to direct it in. Dish it off to Buchanan. The longer throw, the option here. Price sets up Harada. And my goodness, that could have been something special from Enna Harada. Just above the crossbar in the end. Harrison off balance, but maybe that was just enough. Buchanan goes for the shot. It was just the flick off the boot, but far enough away from goal. Polisena has the arm up, however. She goes for the drive in and headed in, but off. And McMeekin! Zoe McMeekin gets her first goal for Melbourne Victory. Just her second in her Ninja A-League career. And while it was the Wanderers that got up initially, it was a come-from-behind victory for the team in navy blue. Their first come-from-behind win since the 20th of January 2024 against Canberra. A big victory there for them. And of course, hard to look past the phenomenal work of Kennedy White, a revelation in signing, hat-trick to her name in just her second game. Of course, Danica Matos started the scoring, and Zoe McMeekin getting her first goal for Melbourne Victory as well to finish out the game. There was patches of dominance from both, and a very, very special victory for Melbourne's coach, Jeff Hopkins, in his 200th match in charge in the Ninja A-League. And that's how it all ends here at Wanderers Football Park. It is Western Sydney Wanderers 1, Melbourne Victory 4.
After 2 rounds, Brisbane Roar sit clear at the top of the table, having won both their matches, with Melbourne City in second. Perth, Newcastle and the Central Coast round out the 6, whilst Western Sydney last with 2 losses. Join us next week as we cover another bumper round of fixtures, headlined by a rematch of the 2025 Grand Final when Melbourne Victory host Central Coast Mariners. Catch you then.